The year was 2137, and humans lived across the solar system from Mars to Titan Moon. Lieutenant Abby Carson worked at Space Station Helix 7, watching for any danger to Earth. Her job was to scan space and report anything unusual. She was the best at what she did and had many awards for her work. Abby sat at her post one quiet day when her screen lit up with strange energy waves coming from beyond Pluto. She had never seen anything like it. The waves moved in patterns that could not be natural. She called her boss right away. Captain Susan Bell came to look at the screen and her eyes grew wide. This was the moment they had trained for first contact with aliens. The entire station went on alert as they tracked the approaching ships. The energy signals belonged to aliens called the Vexcara. They sent a message asking to enter our solar system for peace talks. Earth leaders talked for many days before saying yes. Abby felt worried, though. Something about the alien message seemed off, but no one would listen to her concerns. Her sister Maya, who worked on Mars colony, sent her a message. "Do you think these aliens are safe? I heard their ships are now near Jupiter." Abby told her to stay alert and be ready to get to safety if needed. She wished Maya was closer to Earth and safer. 3 days later, the Vexcara ships suddenly sped up. Their friendly signals stopped. They split into groups and attacked Mars, Europa, and Titan at the same time. Their weapons were like nothing humans had ever seen. The Mars colony was hit first. Thousands died as the dome was broken open. Abby watched in horror as the attack reports came in. She tried to call Maya, but there was no answer. Then a message came through from Mars. It was Maya, her face covered in blood. "The aliens knew exactly where to hit us," Maya said before the signal cut off. Tears ran down Abby's face as she realized her sister was gone. The rage built inside her as the alien ships turned toward Helix 7. Captain Bell ordered everyone to evacuation pods. Abby ran to the lab section instead. She knew there was an experimental shuttle there that might be fast enough to escape. The station shook as the first alien weapons hit. Abby grabbed the main computer core which held all the data they had collected on the alien ships. She reached the shuttle bay as the second blast tore through the station. She jumped into the experimental craft and launched just as Helix 7 broke apart. The shuttle had a special engine that made it faster than regular ships. Abby pushed it to its limits, racing toward Earth. The aliens did not chase her, their focus on bigger targets. She watched through the rear cameras as the station where she had worked for 5 years became nothing but floating metal pieces as she flew the small ship toward Earth. Abby saw the true scale of the attack. The Vexcara had hit every major human outpost in a perfect plan. They knew all our defenses, all our weak spots. This was not a misunderstanding, this was a planned war. The trip to Earth took 3 days. Abby barely slept, rage keeping her awake. She held tight to the data core. Maybe it contained information that could help fight back. When she finally reached Earth orbit, she saw the planet was preparing for warships gathered in defensive positions around the planet. Earth Command welcomed her as a hero, one of the few survivors from the outer bases. They took the data core right away to study it. General Tate, a tall woman with gray hair, told Abby to rest, but she refused. "I want to fight, I need to fight." The general saw the fire in her eyes and nodded. "You will get your chance, we need every skilled pilot." That night in her small room at the military base, Abby looked at a picture of her and Maya taken last year during vacation. They were smiling, standing in front of the Great Mars Canyon. Maya had been so happy on Mars until the aliens took everything away. Abby made a promise to the picture: "I will make them pay for what they did. I will not stop until they feel the same pain they caused us." She did not know how humanity could win against such powerful enemies, but she knew she would give everything to try. The next morning, she was called to a meeting with top military leaders. They showed her the first analysis of the data she saved. The aliens had technology far beyond human understanding, but there was one strange thing. The metals in their ships seemed to react to human emotions, especially strong ones like anger. Dr. Samantha Reeves, a ship designer, explained that this could be important. It means there might be a way to fight them with something they don't expect. A weapon powered by the very thing they tried to destroy: our humanity. As Abby listened, she felt a strange sense of purpose growing. She would be part of this fight, and somehow she knew that her path would lead to something no human had ever done before, something born from the darkest rage that would bring light back to humanity. Inside the alien command ship, the Phoenix moved like a ghost through metal walls. Matter seemed to mean nothing to it now. Abby guided the ship deeper, feeling rather than seeing where to go. The neural connection was complete now. Her thoughts were the ship's actions, her rage its power. The Vexkara had never expected anything could penetrate their shields, much less appear inside their command ship. Alarms sounded throughout the massive vessel. Alien crews rushed to battle stations, but they were fighting something they did not understand. Through the ship's sensors, Abby saw the aliens clearly for the first time. They were tall beings made of what looked like solid light. Their bodies constantly shifted form, as if they could not decide what shape to be. They moved with grace but also with clear panic. They feared the Phoenix. They feared her. Abby directed the Phoenix toward what felt like the center of the ship. Each section they passed through was destroyed not by weapons, but by the ship's very presence. The pathos element had evolved beyond its original purpose. It now unmade alien technology, converting it to energy that the Phoenix absorbed. In the control room of the alien command ship, the Vexkara leader Archon Ziv watched the approaching human vessel with disbelief. "How can this be?" she asked her commanders. "No human technology should be capable of this." The Phoenix was not following any known rules of physics. It moved through walls, changed direction instantly, and seemed to grow stronger with each passing moment. What the aliens could not understand was that the Phoenix was no longer just technology. It had become something new, a fusion of machine-human consciousness and the mysterious pathos element. The ship was as much alive as it was built. As the Phoenix approached the control center, Abby felt something strange. A mental touch. The aliens were trying to communicate directly with her mind. She had expected attack, but this felt different. It felt almost like recognition. Images flashed in Abby's mind. A dying star. A planet breaking apart. Billions of beings fleeing in ships. She was seeing the history of the Vexkara. Their home system had been destroyed. They had been searching for a new home. For centuries, more images came. Earth carefully studied from afar. Human bodies examined. Human minds tested. The Vexkara had chosen Earth because human bodies were compatible with their terraforming needs, but they had discovered something else. Humans were the only species they had found whose minds could be influenced by their psychic abilities, all except those experiencing intense emotions like grief or rage. Strong emotions created a shield against their control. This was why they had attacked. Family units first, to create maximum emotional damage to make survivors easier to control. Understanding flooded through Abby. Dr. Paula Hayes had not chosen to be a traitor. She had been influenced, controlled by the alien minds, but they could not control Abby. Her rage over Maya's death had protected her, and now that same rage had created something the aliens had never expected. A weapon they could not defeat. The Phoenix broke through the final barrier into the control center. Alien crew members fled, but the leader Archon Ziv remained standing tall, her light body pulsing with colors Abby could now somehow understand. "You have created something beyond your understanding. Human," the alien communicated. "The element you call pathos is sacred. To us, it is part of our essence. You have taken it and twisted it with your emotions. Your rage has opened doorways that should remain closed." Abby responded through the ship systems. "This was your choice. You attacked us. You killed my sister. You tried to take our world. The Phoenix is your creation as much as ours." Around them, the command ship was breaking apart, systems failing as the Phoenix presence disrupted everything. But Abby held back from destroying the control center. She sensed there was more to learn. The alien leader moved closer to the Phoenix. "You could destroy us now," she acknowledged. "But would that satisfy your rage? Would it bring back your sister? Would it heal your world?" Something shifted in Abby. The rage that had powered her for months was still there, but alongside it now was curiosity. The neural interface with the ship had expanded her mind. She could see patterns, connections, possibilities that humans alone could never grasp through the Phoenix sensors. Abby accessed the alien database. She saw the truth. The Vex Kara were refugees, their own star system destroyed by a cosmic event they had not predicted. They had been searching for a new home for centuries. Earth wasn't chosen randomly. It was selected because human physiology was compatible with their terraforming. But the database revealed something else. The Vex Kara had not expected human emotions to be so powerful. They had encountered many species in their long journey, but none whose feelings could affect the physical world the way human rage could. They had been afraid, and fear had led them to attack first. As this understanding came to Abby, the Phoenix ship responded to her changing emotions. The rage didn't disappear, but it transformed, becoming something more focused, more controlled. The pathos element throughout the ship stabilized, and suddenly, Abby could see new possibilities, quantum pathways, probability vectors. She realized that the Phoenix wasn't just a weapon. It was a key to understanding the universe in ways humanity had never imagined. The Vex Kara, for all their advancement, had only begun to understand what the pathos element could do when combined with conscious emotion. Archon Ziv sensed the change in Abby. "You see it now, don't you?" she communicated. "The potential, the power beyond simple destruction. This is why we feared you humans. Your emotions make you unpredictable but also capable of evolution. Beyond normal limits, Earth forces had begun their counterattack. Outside the command ship, battles raged, human vessels fought with new hope, seeing the Phoenix had broken through. But Abby now understood that simply destroying the Vex Kara would solve nothing. It would make humanity no better than them. Instead, she established a direct neural link, forcing the alien leaders to experience the collective anguish they had inflicted on humanity. "You came seeking a new home." She transmitted her thoughts carried by the Phoenix systems. "Instead, you've awakened something that has existed in humans since our beginning, our capacity to transform suffering into power." The Phoenix ship began to pulse with energy as Abby made her decision. She would not annihilate the Vex Kara, but she would ensure they could never threaten Earth again. Using the ship's newly understood capabilities, she created a quantum barrier around Earth and its colonies, a shield that would prevent the Vex Kara from ever approaching again. As the alien command ship systems failed around her, Abby sent a final transmission to Earth. "The war is over, but our journey is just beginning." The Phoenix emerged from the command ship no longer merely a vessel, but something evolved. A fusion of technology and human consciousness that gleamed with possibilities. As Abby guided it back toward Earth, the ship left a trail of starlight in its wake, a new constellation born from humanity's darkest hour. The Phoenix returned to Earth, moving through space in ways that defied physics. The quantum shield Abby had created around the planet glowed faintly visible from the surface as a shimmer in the sky. The remaining Vex Kara ships had retreated to the edge of the solar system. The immediate threat was over when the Phoenix landed at the Denver base. Crowds gathered around it. The black hull now shimmered with colors that shifted like oil on water. The ship had changed, and so had its pilot. When Abby emerged, her eyes still glowed with the blue light of the pathos element. She looked human, but something about her was different. "General Monroe was the first to approach Commander Carson," report she said, trying to maintain military protocol. Despite the extraordinary situation, Abby smiled. "The Vex Kara will not trouble us again," she said. "The shield will prevent them from approaching Earth or any human colony. But there is much more I need to tell you about them, about the pathos element, about what the Phoenix has become." In a secure meeting room, Abby explained everything. The Vex Kara were refugees, not conquerors. Their attack came from fear of human potential. They had discovered that human emotion, especially rage, could affect the pathos element in ways they had never seen in any other species. This had frightened them into striking. First, Dr. Reeves listened carefully to the technical aspects. The pathos element isn't just a power source, she realized from Abby's explanation. It's a bridge between thought and reality, between consciousness and matter. The Phoenix isn't just a ship anymore, it's a doorway. The military leaders were most concerned with the shield. Would it hold? Would Earth be truly safe? Abby assured them that the quantum barrier would last for centuries, but she also warned that humanity needed to prepare. Other species existed in the galaxy. Some might be friends, others might be threats worse than the Vexkara Admiral. Tate looked skeptical. How do we know? This isn't alien influence speaking through you, Commander, she asked. Your mind was connected to their technology. Your neural patterns have changed, in answer. Abby held out her hand. A small piece of the pathos element floated above her palm, glowing. The same element that once powered alien weapons now responds to human will. She said, I understand it now in ways they never did. It responds to all emotion, not just rage, love, compassion, hope, all create different effects. The Vexkara only understood how to use it with cold logic. They feared our emotional connection to it. Over the next weeks, Earth began to rebuild. The Phoenix remained at the Denver base, studied by scientists who could barely understand what it had become. Abby spent time with Dr. Reeves and Engineer Lilly, helping them grasp the new possibilities. When not working, she visited the memorial to those lost in the war, including Maya. 1 month after the end of the war, Abby stood before the Earth Council, the new government formed, to rebuild our world. The Phoenix is more than a weapon now, she explained. It's a vessel of exploration. The pathos element allows it to travel in ways no other ship can. It can reach stars we thought were too distant. Dr. Samantha Reeves stood with her. We believe we can build more ships using what we've learned, she added. Not weapons, but true explorers. We can expand beyond our solar system faster than we ever dreamed, and the quantum shields can protect all human settlements. The council debated, but the decision was clear. Humanity needed to move forward. The Phoenix project would continue not as a weapon program but as the start of a new era of exploration. For Abby, the decision meant a new purpose. The rage that had driven her still existed, but it had transformed, like the Phoenix itself, into something creative rather than destructive. She would be the first captain of this new kind of vessel exploring stars. No human had ever seen. Engineer Lily Bishop joined the crew along with others who had worked on the Phoenix. The ship itself seemed eager to leave Earth, its hull pulsing with light whenever Abby came near. The neural connection between them had become a partnership, not a merging. The ship had its own kind of awareness now. On the day of launch, Abby visited Maya's memorial one last time. She placed her hand on the stone and felt a strange warmth, the pathos element in her body responding to her emotions. I did what I promised, she whispered to her sisters. Memory I made. Them pay, but not with destruction. With change, General Monroe oversaw the launch preparations. The new Phoenix was larger than before, designed for a crew, not just a single pilot. The pathos element had been integrated throughout in ways that would allow faster-than-light travel without traditional engines. Dr. Reeves hugged Abby before she boarded. You've changed everything, she said. Our understanding of physics, of consciousness, of what humans can become. Be careful out there. The Phoenix rose. From Earth, its hull shifting through colors as it accelerated. The quantum barrier parted, allowing it through, then closed behind it. As Earth shrank behind them, Abby felt a sense of peace. The war was truly over. A new journey had begun in the depths of space. The Phoenix encountered its first new star system, a place no human had ever seen. Abby opened a channel to Earth, sending back images of planets with colors Earth scientists had never imagined. This is just the beginning, she transmitted. We can go further, see more. The crew explored the system, finding strange new elements, forms of matter that didn't exist in our solar system. The Phoenix analyzed everything, storing knowledge that would help humanity grow. The ship could travel between star systems in days, not years or centuries. The galaxy had opened to human exploration. 3 months into their journey, the Phoenix detected an unusual signal. It came from a planet orbiting a distant star. The signal was artificial. Someone was out. They're not the Vexkara. But something new. Abby gathered the crew. Should we investigate? She asked, knowing the potential risks of first contact. They had all seen what happened with the Vex Kara. Lily spoke what everyone was thinking. We aren't the same. Humans who met the Vex Kara, she said. We understand more now, and we have you in the Phoenix. We can approach with caution, but also with hope. The decision was made. The Phoenix changed course toward the signal. The ship that had been built from human rage was now carrying human curiosity, human hope. The connection between ship and crew grew stronger with each new discovery. The pathos element responded to these positive emotions, creating new capabilities, new understandings. As they approached the source of the signal, Abby thought about how much had changed. The aliens had triggered a war expecting to find a primitive species easy to conquer. Instead, they had awakened something sleeping within humanity. Our capacity to transform our darkest moments into our greatest strengths. The Phoenix moved through space, a shining symbol of that transformation. Behind it, Earth was safe, protected by the quantum shield. Ahead lay endless possibilities. New worlds, new species, perhaps even new friends. The journey that had begun in rage and grief now continued with wonder and hope. The aliens had indeed triggered a war, and they had met the ship built from human rage. But in doing so, they had helped create something they never expected. A humanity, ready to take its place among the stars. Not as conquerors, but as explorers. Not defined by hatred, but by the full range of emotions that made humans unique in the galaxy. As the Phoenix approached the signal, Abby gave the order to open communications. We come in peace, she transmitted, and we bring the stars with us. The story of the Phoenix and its crew was just beginning, but the story of the war that created it had reached its end. Humanity had faced its darkest hour and emerged transformed, ready for whatever the universe might bring next. 6 months passed since the first attack. Earth was losing the war. The Vex Kara controlled most of the solar system. Their ships formed a blockade around Earth, allowing nothing in or out. Food was running low. Hope was running lower. The last military leaders met in a secret base under what used to be Denver City. Abby was there too now. A commander after leading several brave but mostly failed missions against the aliens. She looked around the room at the tired faces. These were the people trying to save humanity, and they were running out of ideas. General Kate Monroe stood at the front of the room. 20 more settlements lost this week, she said. Our ships cannot stand against their weapons. We need something new, or we will not survive another. 6 months, a woman with red hair stood up. This was Dr. Samantha Reeves, once famous for building passenger ships, now working on weapons. I have an idea, she said. It may sound crazy, but I believe it can work. The room went quiet, everyone eager for any hope. Dr. Reeves showed images on the main screen. We found something in the wreckage of their ships, she explained. A strange element that seems to react to human emotions, especially strong ones like anger and grief. We call it pathos. She showed a video of a small glowing blue rock that pulsed when a person near it showed strong feelings. I've designed a ship that can use this element as both power source and weapon, Dr. Reeves continued. But there is something unusual about it. The stronger the emotion, the stronger the reaction. This ship would need a pilot with intense emotional connection to the war. Someone whose feelings could power the systems. Abby felt everyone looking at her. She knew why. The loss of her sister had filled her with a rage that had not faded in 6 months. She had become known for her reckless bravery in battles born from that anger. Dr. Reeves looked directly at Abby. The ship would need a neural connection to its pilot, a sharing of mind and emotion deeper than anything we've done before. It could be dangerous. We don't fully understand this alien element. I volunteer, said Abby without hesitation. She stood up, her voice firm. If there's any chance this works, I want to be the one to fly it. Her hands were shaking, but not from fear, from excitement at the thought of finally having a real weapon against the aliens' admiral. Olivia Tate shook her head. This is foolish. We should focus on evacuation ships. Save who we can. Not waste resources on experimental technology. Dr. Reeves responded quickly. The same pathos element powers their ships, their weapons run on it. If we can master it, we might have a chance, and we have something they don't. the depth of human emotion, our rage, our grief, our love, all of it's stronger than they expected. General Monroe made the final decision. We will do both continue evacuation plans but also build this ship. We need every possible chance. The project will be called Phoenix. Give Dr. Reeves whatever she needs. Work began immediately. The best engineers and scientists gathered in the deepest part of the underground base. Abby spent her days in painful neural testing as doctors mapped her brain and emotional responses. Each session left her exhausted, but she never complained. Every day the alien still controlled Earth was another day too many. Dr. Reeves worked without stopping. She grew thin and pale, but her eyes burned with determination. During one test, the pathos element reacted so strongly to Abby's anger that it blew out the power in the entire west section of the base. That was when they knew they were on the right track. Lily Bishop, a quiet engineer with clever hands, built the neural interface that would connect Abby to the ship. It looks like a crown, she said as she fitted it to Abby's head, but it will feel like the ship becomes part of your body. Your emotions will flow into it. You will feel what it feels. The first full integration test came 2 months into the project. Abby sat in a chamber surrounded by the alien element. As the neural crown activated, she gasped. The feeling was like nothing she had experienced. It was as if her mind expanded beyond her body. She could feel the pathos element responding to her thoughts. Her feelings show us what you're feeling, Commander, said Dr. Reeves through the speaker. Abby thought of Maya, of the moment she saw her sister's bloody face on the screen. The pathos element around her room glowed bright blue, then shifted to deep red energy. Readings went off the charts. The element was absorbing her rage, amplifying it as the ship took shape. It looked unlike any vessel humans had built before, black as space with curves that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Inside was a single pilot chamber where Abby would connect directly to the ship's systems. The weapons were designed to channel the same energy that powered the engines. During this time, the Vexkara continued their attacks. They began taking Earth's water and changing our atmosphere. The truth became clear: they wanted our planet for themselves. They would remove all humans to make Earth their new home one night. Abby found Dr. Reeves staring at the nearly finished ship. "This isn't just a weapon," she said quietly. "It's something more. The pathos element doesn't just use emotion. I think it transforms it into something beyond our understanding. This ship could save humanity or change it forever. The Phoenix would be ready soon." The question was, would it be soon enough? Earth had maybe 1 month before the final Vexkara attack would begin. Their main command ship had been spotted moving toward Earth. A ship larger than anything humans had ever built. 3 months after the project began, the Phoenix was ready for its first test flight. Abby wore her neural crown and entered the ship. As the systems came online, she felt the connection deep in her mind. The ship hummed around her, not like a machine, but like a living thing. She could feel every part of it, as if it were her own body. She thought of Maya, of Earth, of all that had been lost. The Phoenix responded, the pathos elements throughout the ship glowing brighter. The test controllers watched in amazement as the ship's power levels rose beyond anything they had predicted. Abby Carson and the Phoenix were ready. The true test would come soon. Would this ship built from human rage be enough to turn the tide of war? Only time would tell. But for the first time in 6 months, Earth had something the aliens did not expect: a weapon born from the very thing they had created, our desire for justice. The Phoenix project continued as the Vexkara attacks grew worse. Each day they took more of Earth's resources. Oceans were being drained, forests were dying. The air itself was changing, becoming more like the aliens' homeworld. Their plan was clear, not just to defeat humans, but to replace them. Abby spent every waking hour connected to the Phoenix through her neural crown. The ship responded to her in ways no one expected. During one test, she thought of the moment she learned of Maya's death. The ship's weapons activated without any controls being touched. A burst of red energy shot out, vaporizing a metal test target and the mountain behind it. Dr. Reeves monitored Abby's brain patterns with growing concern. The connection between pilot and ship was becoming too deep. Sometimes Abby would speak in a voice that did not sound entirely human. The pathos element was changing her, but no one knew how to stop it, or if they even should. The weapon was working better than anyone hoped. General Monroe visited the project daily, watching the test flights as the Phoenix performed impossible maneuvers. "It's not flying like a ship," she noted to Dr. Reeves. "It's more like it knows what Abby wants before she does." The doctor nodded. The neural connection is evolving. The ship is learning her and she is learning it. I worry about what happens when the line between them disappears completely. Security around the Phoenix project was the tightest on Earth. Only those directly involved knew its true nature, but someone was watching, someone was listening. Engineer Lily Bishop discovered unusual data patterns in the communication systems. Someone was sending messages out of the base. She reported her findings to Security Chief Madison Wright, a former police detective with sharp eyes and sharper mind. Together they set a trap, adding fake information about the Phoenix to the system, then waiting to see who accessed it. The trap worked. The traitor was Dr. Paula Hayes, one of the project scientists. Madison confronted Paula in her lab at night. The scientist did not resist. She seemed almost in a trance. "The aliens are in my head," she whispered. "They have been since the first attack. They whisper to me, show me things. I had to help them." Madison took Paula to a secure cell, but the damage was done. A final message had been sent. The Vexkara now knew about the Phoenix. They knew about Abby. They knew about the weapon built from human rage. The next day, alarms sounded throughout the base. Sensors detected a massive movement of alien ships. They were gathering for what looked like their final attack on Earth. General Monroe called an emergency meeting. "The Phoenix needs to launch now," she said. "We can't wait for more testing." Admiral Tate disagreed. "The ship isn't ready. The neural connection isn't stable. Commander Carson could lose herself completely if pushed too far." Abby stood up, her eyes glowing slightly with the same blue as the pathos element. "I'm ready," she said. "We launch tomorrow. The Vexkara think they know what we're planning, but they have no idea what this ship can really do. What I can do." That night, Abby sat alone in her room looking at the picture of Maya. She spoke to it as if her sister could hear. "I'm going to end this tomorrow." One way or another, she felt the Phoenix in her mind, even from across the base. It was eager, hungry for the battle to come. She wondered if those feelings were the ship's or her own. The line between them was indeed fading. Engineer Lily visited Abby, bringing her a small device. "This will help monitor your vital signs," she said, "but also keep you connected to your human side. The neural crown will try to merge you completely with the ship. This might help you remember who you are when that happens." Dawn came with reports of alien ships entering Earth's atmosphere. The Phoenix was prepared for launch. Abby, wearing her flight suit and neural crown, walked toward the ship. People lined the path, some saluting, others reaching out to touch her uniform for luck. She was carrying their hopes, their rage, their desire for revenge inside the Phoenix. Abby settled into the pilot chamber. The neural connections activated, and the ship came alive around her. She could feel every system, every weapon. The pathos elements pulsed with her heartbeat. This was more than flying a ship. This was becoming one with it. Dr. Reeves spoke through the communication system. "We don't know the limits of what this ship can do, Commander. The pathos element seems to bend reality itself when connected to strong enough emotion. Be careful." General Monroe gave the final orders. "Your mission is to break through their lines, reach their command ship, and destroy it. If you can do that, our remaining forces might have a chance against their smaller ships." The Phoenix launched from the underground base, rising through a hidden mountain tunnel. When it reached the open air, it seemed to shimmer, changing color from black to a deep blue. The same color as the pathos element. The same color as Abby's eyes now glowed. Alien ships detected the Phoenix immediately. They moved to intercept firing weapons that had destroyed hundreds of human vessels before. But something strange happened. The energy weapons seemed to curve around the Phoenix or be absorbed by its hull. Each hit made the ship glow brighter. Abby felt no fear, only a calm purpose. She guided the Phoenix, not with controls but with thought. As alien ships surrounded her, she remembered Maya's face, remembered the destruction of Earth colonies, remembered all that humanity had lost. The rage flowed through her into the ship. The Phoenix weapons activated energy beams shot out, hitting 5 alien ships at once. They didn't just damage them, they seemed to unmake them. The ships came apart molecule by molecule. The remaining aliens pulled back, regrouping, trying new tactics. Nothing worked. The Phoenix moved through their defenses like they weren't there inside the ship. Abby felt her consciousness expanding. She could somehow sense the aliens themselves, feel their surprise, their growing fear. She pushed forward toward the massive command ship, the final target, the heart of the Vexkara invasion. As the Phoenix approached the alien command ship, Abby opened a communication channel to all frequencies. She spoke, her voice echoing with power. "You took everything from us, now see what you've created." The Phoenix began to glow brighter than ever. The pathos element throughout the ship resonated with Abby's rage, but also with something bigger. The collective grief and anger of all humanity seemed to flow through the ship. The space around the Phoenix bent and twisted light itself. Warping in a flash of impossible light, the Phoenix vanished from where it was and reappeared. Inside the shields of the alien command ship, the final battle was about to begin, and the Vexkara were about to learn the true cost of provoking human rage.